So the introduction from the book of Shimura, the one I've read hundreds of times, I'll continue. He was talking about the background. Now he's to talk about the meeting with Daisetz Suzuki. So given that setting of how I felt about not knowing what to do, he met Daisetz when he read, after his reading of the book Zen and Japanese Culture. That's very interesting because that was the book I picked up when I was graduating from college at the bookstore in the US. The same book. So Shimura also read the book deeply and felt so respectful of Daisetz from that experience. After the war is over, so this is 1946, he came back from Taiwan and he was a journalist. As soon as he became one, he went to where Daisetz lived, that is in Kamakura, at the temple. And it was because, how can I find the so pure mind that should be the essence of humanity that he wanted to find out. So he had the talk with Daisetz, and Daisetz is always calm, quiet, listen to Shimura's story, and then he move on, and if he says something not quite to the point, then Daisetz would hit him, not physically, but question. For example, you said you used the word objectivity, but what is that you mean, that objectivity that you're talking about? So that is the question that he would ask, and Daisetz had a very long eyebrow, I think, and under that is his eye, deep and sparkling. Is it? But Daisetz could explain, if the question is logical, then with logic he can describe what is the meaning of it. And in those days there was a book, it was a bestseller and many people read, and Shimura asked Daisetz, if you are such a protagonist, the main character of that book, and moved around from A to B and not well treated, what do you do? So such was Shimura's question to Daisetz. And as soon as he asked that, immediately Daisetz said, what do you do when you hear from me? And that is, for example, the way, if you ask the question, if, and then what? So such a hypothetical situation, Daisetz's response was very direct. Don't just bring the bullshit question that is beyond I can digest, or maybe that's my word, but don't just bullshit me in English term, but of course in Japanese more polite, but still straightforward. So Shimura felt very fearful, because you have to be clear in what you're saying. So he felt fear to see him, but given that fear, I don't know why, but he said that he didn't know why, but he just went to Kamakura, where Daisetz lived. Then 1966, in July 12th, when Daisetz was 95, he passed away. For about 20 years, he visited Daisetz. Daisetz was from his point of view, a very fearful person, but at the same time, he was so compassionate than anyone he can think about. When Shimura got married, he visited Daisetz, and because of this youth, he was talking about his wife's story, and it was taking so much time, and then Daisetz was listening, nodding here and there for a while, but eventually he said, "Mr. Shimura, your story, is there more to go?" It's a gentle way of the Japanese subtlety to ask the question, as if, what are you talking about it? What's the purpose of it? And Shimura responded, no, sorry, it's almost the end. And Daisetz says, okay, I'm a bit busy. In such a manner, he had stopped his talk. So, because of the kindness, gentleness of Daisetz, he may have taken away so much time of Daisetz out of his work, and that is very sad that he felt. But within those who visit him, Daisetz, there may be those like me, Shimura, or much superior individuals. But whoever Daisetz meet, there's no distinction, always kind. At one point, there was an old man visited Daisetz for 2 hours, and he was talking about his memories and things that have accomplished, and went back home. And after that happened, I guess this was a very famous person, Daisetz was tired in his sofa, sitting deeply, and said, when you get old, you become like that. Or with it. So he said some statement like that. Yet he was much older than that person visited, the old man, for about 15 years or more. But spirit-wise, Daisetz was much, much, much younger. For Daisetz, work has been his life. So even close to 100 years old, he was living a youth of his life. He was always facing a mountain full of work. Let me stop here.